Like we promised, we told you people we are going to be bringing to you election tribunal updates. It's getting more interesting. And let's give you a brief summary of the proceedings at the presidential election tribunal court on Wednesday, June 14, 2023. It was said, based on this material I have here, that proceedings began at 9:14 a.m. Seems they are keeping to time. Should be 9 a.m. now, maybe due to certain arrangements. They began 9:14. And as usual, these guys are ready for the whole thing. The LP councils. They brought massive collection of evidences to the courts. And it's like, I don't know whether it's the first time Peter Obi was absent. And I wish some of the time he should be absent too. He doesn't need to be there all the time, though seeing him encourages his team. But then he needs to sometimes stay out. So Peter Obi was absent on Wednesday, and he was represented by LP Women's leader, Mrs. Dudu Manuga. And LP's council appearance was led by, as usual, Dr. Levi Uzouku, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And the LP's evidence presentation was led by Audu Anuga, also an SAN, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And I said all the documents they presented that yesterday was contained in the 8th and the 9th schedule. And the following IREV reports by local government were presented: Benue 21, Niger 25, Edo 17, Bauchi 20. All the blood for the state, Bayelsa 8, the ones that are blood, that's a setback, quite all right. All the blood for the state, Bayelsa, plain sheets with cancelled writings on them, Gombe 8, then Kaduna 21. And among the other things they presented were also supplementary certified IREF for Kaduna 21 local government areas. So you still imagine why LP is contesting Kaduna and many northern states. These are states you will think they will not get votes, but it's like they were even winning in those states. You know, INEC will be expecting them to contend with the south areas. INEC will like, oh, they will not talk about the north. INEC has seen what Igbo said, Ofugo Nketol Biati. Most of what INEC is seeing in these proceedings is not what they expected, even the APC. And that is why they keep shouting, objection, objection. And BVAS and certificate of compliance for 28 states were also submitted. IREF certificate of compliance for 7 states. See standard Akwa Ibom excluded. Name of other states not mentioned. All evidences presented were opposed by, as usual, they were opposite, was opposed by respondent, but admitted by court and tagged with exhibit numbers. Argument ensued on why INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood, has not responded to LP's subpoena. Let's tell you about how the argument went that Wednesday. And the election petition tribunal on Wednesday cautioned LP and INEC's counsel over derogatory remarks against each other. So Levi Uzouku, SAN, also accused Mahmood Yakubu, the INEC chairman, of dodging court summons. He said Mahmood refused to accept subpoena from the bailiff of the court. Afterwards, he asked for adjournment because maybe they need that so that the case can continue, and since he's not available. Then why countering Uzouku, INEC's counsel, Oluwakemi Pinheiro, said the petitioners are trying to blame his client for their failures, adding that it has become the habit to always look for excuse to seek an adjournment. I wonder why you would think it's Labour Party's council that will be seeking adjournment when they want things to be resolved on time. So look at it. Can you imagine the who is accusing Labour Party's counsel. He said they want an adjournment. Adjournment. What for? They want this case to be done on time, but it's like INEC is hampering them. INEC is trying to slow pace their movement so that the installed president, INEC announced an installed president will, keep staying in office. So who is buying time? It should be INEC buying time, not Peter Obi's counsel. So I don't understand what these guys are saying. So the argument ensued, and and later court was adjourned by 12:38 p.m. And proceedings are already ongoing right now as we speak. This material was courtesy of at Pills TV, at Miss Pills. So let's look at other things that transpired. Before we continue, let me tell you what I am noticing. I am not trying to raise an alarm, but and based on what Jibrin Okutepa, who is one of Labour Party's counsel, said, if things continue like this, it will come to a point, the way Labour Party's legal team wants to prove their case, it will come to a point the case will judge itself. The judges will be left with nothing than to just affirm what the presentation, the document and evidences have said. I think that's where it's getting to. When Peter Obi said he will prove he won, just like Peter Obi and Dati, because it's a team, it was like as if, how can they prove this? But look at the kind of evidences that are coming inside the courts. It's, it's amazing. And if there's no interference, the case will judge itself. Any judge that will want to turn everything upside down will be, at the mercy of his career. That is what I'm seeing. And I like what Okutepa said. Let's read from one of his social media handles. According to him, he said, the nation will be great because the truth cannot be hidden nor covered for a moment. According to Jibril Okutepa, he made it known in his statement by saying that those who cover the truth will soon expose themselves. So the truth will just, what is true is not hard to defend. It will just shine like light and everyone will be stunned. Not because we don't already know the truth, but because they have proven beyond reasonable doubt that certain things happened. According to him, he said, nothing else can be covered from Almighty God because God knows who have always stood justice on the head. And, people have already started losing hope on the judiciary. A lot of people are not following the proceedings because they said they can already predict what the outcome would be. But Okutepa is trying to tell people that they should respect the judiciary. And that the judiciary also must do their best, everything they can to earn that respect. After certain past judgments in this country, that trust on getting justice, especially in matters like this, have been lost. So, well, we have to, just like telling fathers, son, be obedient to your parents. The Bible also told parents, treat your children well. Yes, so that you not trigger disobedience. So that is it. And it's like a lot of people are beginning to trust the judiciary somehow. You heard what Aisha Yusufu wrote. She said, the politicians think they own the judiciary. For her to make such statement is like she believes something good is coming out. Based on the proceedings in the court, it appears, okay, I don't want to conclude, but based on what we are seeing, as if a side is sinking already. And I always believe that what is true will stand and what is false will collapse. Some of the time, it might not collapse immediately. Now let's look at what Yusufu said. Then we'll come back to what Tinubu said. Tinubu made a particular statement during his June 12th address as if he will not tolerate certain things from the tribunal. Meanwhile, they are doing their work, and we will show you responses to that. The tribunal should be allowed to do their work without external interferences. Ordinarily, if things have been going well, if Nigeria has been well structured, nobody will even get to the office until the tribunal is done. So Tinubu should allow the tribunal to do their work. So famous Nigerian social critic Aisha has slammed the political elites. He said for thinking they own the judiciary, just as they once thought they owned the electoral process. Yes, they hijacked the electoral process. Now it's the turn of the judiciary. And we hope at the end of the day that the judiciary will only affirm what was done at the polling units, the true votes of Nigerians. So Yusuf said it was lack of participation by citizens that gave them the room to indulge in all manner of criminality. Her statement was in response to a section of speech, listen carefully, a speech President Bola Tinubu gave on Democracy Day. They said it's June 12th, that is Democracy Day. While he was addressing the nation, Tinubu said, it has become imperative to state here that unnecessary illegal orders, listen carefully, it has become imperative to state here that unnecessary illegal orders used to truncate or abridge democracy will no longer be tolerated. What is he trying to say? Is he trying to use DSS or the security operative to stop what has been approved? Going to tribunal after presidential election, after any election is approved, it is not against the law. That is part of the process. If you are not okay with the results, you go to tribunal. So allow it to run its course. We hope Tinubu and his government, because now he's in charge somehow, because of what INEC did, will not interfere with what is happening. That is why Aisha is commending some of Nigerian citizens for participating now, getting involved. Some are involved by watching, listening, paying attention. Some are helping to disseminate information, even though they said they will not tolerate live coverage. Some are helping to make the public understand, just like we make the public understand what is happening at the tribunal. So you heard what Tinubu said. Now we will go to responses. Atiku Abubakar has responded to that. We are not hoping to see a case whereby the courtrooms will be locked a particular day, sealed by DSS and the rest, or attacked during proceedings. We are not hoping to see that. Election tribunal is in the constitution. In fact, it has a strong leg, constitutional backing. And the judges are going to do the right thing. Right now, they are not in the mind of the judges. They don't know what the judges will arrive at. But evidences are showing the direction this might swing to. Evidences. So much of them. It is clear that one side does not know what to do. They didn't plan for the tribunal. They only came there to object. So let's go to responses by Atiku, and even Nigerian Bar Association has responded to that. And if there are other people that responded too, we will get to bring that to you. Let's look at Atiku's response. Now let's start with that of the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP. You already know SERAP. Let's start with theirs. In response to what Tinubu said, SERAP now to BAT, they have asked him to clarify a comment he made during his Democracy Day speech. Yes, now let's go further. He said, on the national holidays celebrating democracy, Tinubu warned that any further attempt to curtail the system by means of superfluous illegal instruction will not be accepted. Let him explain himself. That's what everybody is saying. Since he first said it, others have come up with several ways to understand it. The president has been requested to elaborate on his comments by Serap. They tweeted that he was foolish to think that a court order was superfluous or against the law. It's contrary to the rule of law and judicial independence for Tinubu to characterize any court ruling as superfluous or illegal. Therefore, he should elaborate on his assertion that unnecessary illegal orders issues to truncate or abridge democracy will no longer be tolerated. What does he mean? Serap is asking him. And let's look at what Atiku Abubakar said. For Atiku Abubakar, he has warned Tinubu to stop threatening the judiciary. Yes, because it's like trying to scare them. I don't know whether bribes have been forwarded to them or Ghana must go back, and they rejected, they snubbed it. And now the executive might use force to influence, I don't know. So Atiku has warned Tinubu to stop threatening judiciary. Let's read. The former vice president of Nigeria and the presidential candidate of the February 25th presidential election, Waziri Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, has warned President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to stop threatening the judiciary. The presidential candidate of PDP has claimed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is planning on running an autocratic government. The special assistant to Waziri Atiku Abubakar on public communications, Frank Shaibu, revealed on Monday that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's speech on Democracy Day on 12th June was a threat to the country's judiciary system, which is in the process of the winner and credibility of the February 25th presidential election. There are so many, including the NBA, they are angry. He has to explain what he meant. And I think that's where we'll round up on this one. We'll be back with more updates later. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more updates. Bye-bye for now. Let nothing interfere with the proceedings at the tribunal. Let the executive, like he said earlier, he said he wouldn't interfere. It's like the evidence are causing his leg to shake, bringing shivers inside Aso Rock.